Hello, Lions fans, and welcome to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving in. So, for today's episode, folks, we're going to be kind of going yet again back to free agency, but we're going back to free agency with, again, a slight little bit of a twist, a little bit of a variation. The reason why we're going to talk about this is because the Lions, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try and ask you guys to keep this in the perspective that I'm about to put it in. The Lions have another opportunity potentially to go out and get a top-end edge rusher should they desire and should they choose to do so. What exactly am I talking about here? What I am talking about is that according to NFL reports and according to what is going around the supposed, I would say, proverbial water cooler in the NFL, is that the Los Angeles Chargers, the team right now that is over $25 million on the salary cap right now, is looking for ways to clear up cap space so that way they can be under the cap in time of the league new year, which starts, if I recall correctly, at noon today. Might be 4 o'clock, I don't remember. Whatever. Point is, they are looking to clear up cap space so that way they're in compliance with the NFL's rules, but at the same time, so that way they can move forward into the offseason. Here's the reason why this is an opportunity for the Lions. The reason why it's an opportunity for the Lions is that the reports is that the Chargers are either going to try to trade or they're going to release certain players. Now, what are the players that are primarily on the chopping block, whether for trade or being released? The primary names that are on the block are Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, pardon me, I had his name backwards there for a minute. So Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen. Those are the 4 names that a lot of people are looking at as potential whatever casualties that the Chargers might have to pay up for to try and get under the cap and in compliance with the league rules. Now, I'm going to say this right now. It is my wholehearted opinion that the Chargers, are not going to get rid of either Mike Williams or get rid of freaking Keenan Allen. It would be absolutely suicide for them to do that. For me, it's like, listen, those two are a huge part of that offense, and they need those guys on the offense to help out Justin Herbert. So I don't think that the Chargers are going to get rid of either Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. Those guys are big, crucial parts of that offense, and they're desperately needed. That's why I think there's an opportunity here for the Lions, because I would be more than willing to bet that the team is most likely going to look to either trade or cut Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa. Now, if I had to take a guess between the two, I'd be willing to bet that Khalil Mack's the one that probably gets cut because he's older, which means he's going to have less trade value. And if the Chargers were looking to get something potentially in return, they might try to trade Joey Bosa. Now, here's what I can say for Lions fans. Is there a possibility, and again, I put heavy emphasis, I put extra emphasis on the word possibility. Is there a possibility that the Lions could potentially exploit this situation, take it to their advantage, and somehow get one of these two guys for a fraction of what they cost? It is potentially possible, because you have to think about it this way, folks. Khalil Mack, he is well over the age of 30, but he just had a great year with the Chargers. Obviously, in a market that we're in right now, he is going to demand some sort of interest or attention from other teams. But the reason why I think the Lions could go after Khalil Mack is because they have had a lot of experience playing against him. They know what type of a player he is. And if we're thinking about it here, the Lions are doing a lot of 1-year or 2-year rentals. For a guy that is as old as Khalil Mack, which I think he's like, 33, 34, maybe even 35, you could get him for a 1-year deal, which is probably going to cost anywhere between, maybe $10 to $20 million, which if you're just looking for a guy that can get you over the hump, that could come in and fill in and give you a threat, a presence opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, then at that point, that would make a lot of sense. The real question is whether or not Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are going to want to do that, because that is a lot of cap space to give up on a 1-year deal. Now, that's one potential avenue. That's one potential option that the Lions could do if they wanted to go that route. The other route is they could potentially trade for Joey Bosa. I can't see a way that the Chargers just let Joey Bosa walk out the door for nothing. They are going to obviously want to potentially trade him if they have to get rid of him to get something back in return, because he's just too good of a player to just let walk out the door. Now, I will say this. Joey Bosa, is he a good player? Hell yeah, he is a good player. He is a very good player. The problem with Joey Bosa is his durability concerns. He just simply has not been very durable over his time in the NFL. But when he is on the field, he is a damn playmaker. He is a matchup nightmare for other teams. So it's like, listen, for some Lions fans, they would be willing to take the risk on that part because it's like, listen, let's just suppose we could get Bosa for maybe 10 or 12 games this year. That's still quite a decent amount of games, even if you have to deal with the potential injury risk, the potential injury concerns, which is going to further offset the whole situation of how much you're going to have to trade to get him, and at the same time, the amount of salary cap you're going to have to eat in order to make that trade work. The point of the matter is this. I know for a lot of Lions fans, they were particularly upset, and they are still particularly upset about the fact that the Lions passed on going after Danielle Hunter when Danielle Hunter signed, I would say, at least a moderate contract of 2 years for $49 million. That's not that bad for a pass rusher, an edge rusher of Hunter's caliber. So it's like, listen, you now have this possibility, you now have this opportunity to exploit the situation that the Chargers find themselves in and get one of these two guys potentially for a really good deal. The question is one, how are the Chargers going to handle it? Are they going to release Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa? Are they going to trade one, not do anything? I don't know. They could even potentially try to restructure stuff to also do that. That is another possibility. But the way I'm going to put at it is this. In my honest opinion, the Lions have to, at the very, very least, they have to at least explore this situation. They have to be like, okay, could we go after one of these two guys if they become available and somehow make it to where the Lions can actually bring in a talented player like Mack or Bosa, make it financially responsible to where it doesn't put the Lions over the barrel, and at the same time, give themselves a chance, give themselves an opportunity to get better. I believe that they should at least explore an opportunity like that. I believe they should at least give themselves the moment to say, is this something that we could potentially do? Is this something that we have a chance to actually make work? Because I know this for a fact. Again, like I said earlier in this episode, is there a possibility that the Lions could do this? Yeah, there is a possibility. But again, I'm going to say this right now. Do I expect it? No, I don't expect it. And the reason I don't expect it is because, again, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have remained resilient to the fact that, hey, we are going to do what we said we're going to do. And they have not changed or altered that course one bit. They have not decided that they're going to go out and make a big splash signing or trade. They have made trades, they have made signings, but none of them have been considered splash trades or signings. So could the Lions, could Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell decide to go after Mack or Bosa if they become available? Yeah, they could. But again, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch and see what happens. I'm going to have some hope. I'm going to have some, like maybe this could happen, but I'm not going to expect it. Because when you start expecting things and it doesn't happen, you get disappointed. And that's what a lot of Lions fans had when they went through the whole situation with Danielle Hunter not being brought to Detroit when they thought that there was a good chance he was going to come here. So it's like, listen, whatever happens with the potential of getting Mack or Bosa, I'm just going to sit back and watch and observe and see what happens, and I advise Lions fans to do the same. Again, there is a possibility that it could happen, but don't get your hopes up. Don't get your expectations up. We're just going to have to sit back, wait, and see what happens on that front. But with that having been said, I just wanted to put this out there really quickly because I know this is going to be a topic of conversation. I know this is going to be a hotbed topic for a lot of people because they're going to be like, okay, we didn't get Hunter. Maybe we can go and get Mack or Bosa if they become available. But having said that, we'll see what happens. And I just want to say to everybody, thank you all for watching another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, highly encourage you all to do one of these three things: like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If by chance you subscribed in the past and forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, highly encourage you all please to subscribe. But I also want to encourage you all, please, make sure you also hit that bell notification icon on as well, so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to make sure you guys are able to come back, so make sure you turn on that notification icon so that way as soon as I push something out, you guys can come right back to the channel. Also encourage y'all to please share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more we share it, the better the channel grows, the better the channel spreads. And with that being said, to everybody, I just want to say again, thank you all for watching the content. I hope you all enjoyed it. I also hope that you guys are having an absolutely spectacular day and that you have something that gives you a smile. And with that being said, to everybody, God bless. Hope you all are doing well. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.